you guys for dropping in there. So let's jump right into the show tonight. We had the All In special. Um, if you watched it on the Fight TV app, I know a lot of people at the beginning of the show when it started were having issues with the Fight app. I know a lot of people were saying that it wasn't running, it wasn't showing up. A lot of the loading screen was just happening. So, Dave, you got it on the Fight TV. How was the app for you tonight?
At the beginning, it wasn't working. So yeah, I mean, I just stood there and waited, and then the only thing I really missed was the national anthem, I guess. So I didn't miss a match. So it worked eventually. So after that, it was fine. I had no issues afterwards.
Okay, great. I ordered it on my pay-per-view provider, so I had no issues whatsoever. Fight TV never gives me issues if I watch it on my phone, but if I try to do the phone to the TV, get a lot of buffering issues. So I was like, screw it. I'm not going to even risk it. I'm just going to get it on pay-per-view. It was the same price that it was on Fight app, so I didn't have any issues with that. The only issue I had was this, that I know this was your first time doing this whole star casting, and I'm not trying to bicker too much, but $149 and $149.99 for your whole thing is not bad if you are a fan of everything that they're having on that show. I mean, they had so much stuff at that StarCast event. It's unreal. From Eric Bischoff to Bruce Pritchard to Bill Apter to everything that they had there. It was amazing. I just wish that you could have kind of like how they did it tonight. Hey, we're going, because if you have Fight app, it tells you when certain things are going live. And I got the live notification when, Medusa was having her thing and the Eric Bischoff Monday Night War thing. I wish you could have ordered it then and not have to buy the whole thing to get the full package, because not a lot of that stuff I was interested in. Maybe about 4 or 5 things I wanted to see. I saw that you liked that tweet. Dave, do you agree with that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I wish, looking at some of the stuff, I was like, man, it would have been nice to have been able to see. So, like, I think Tony Schiavone had one as well. They did I think they were going to do a Botchamania one, which that would have been a fun to watch.
Right.
And then the Monday Night Wars one, I think even Jeff Jarrett did a TNA one.
Right, so, I mean, yeah. It's not. I'm not saying. I mean, they had they're even having events tomorrow night as well. So you got, I think, in total a shitload of events, but for almost $200, that's a bit extreme. I just wish that you could have went and say, hey, we're going live, la la la. You want to see the Monday Night War debate between Eric Bischoff, Bruce Pritchard, hey, $9.99 or $5.99 or however much they want to charge you for. I think that would have been a little bit better than having to. Because you're not going to sit there. I mean, this shit was all day. I mean, are you going to literally sit on your phone or watch this all day? No, probably not. So that's why I wish you could have bought certain items for a certain price. But other than that, I had no issues with tonight's StarCast. And I know a lot of people who are there are probably having a great time. I know Brandon Apter is there. Michael Berry is there. So go ahead and follow them on Twitter. I'm going to try to get Apter on the show this week so he can tell us how it was being there live, because he has some interesting opinions that he was texting me during the show. I don't want to ruin them now, but I'd like to tell him when he gets on the show. So both Dave and I both missed the 2 pre-show matches, which was the Briscoes taking on Sal Cal and Censored, and the Over the Budget Battle Royal. I didn't miss the whole budget over the budget Battle Royal. I missed probably, I would say, 95% of it. So pretty much all of it. I caught the end of it. So we're really not going to touch too much on that. You guys can say your opinions in the chat, but we kind of predicted what was going to happen at the Over the Budget Battle Royal, which was Flip Gordon winning the All-In Over the Budget Battle Royal to go on to face Jay Lethal for the ROH Championship. I heard nothing but great things about this Battle Royal. I heard everybody said it was a really good Battle Royal for the most part. I don't know who it was. I'm not sure who the guy's name was, but some move involving Brian Cage, or Cage just threw him up in the air, and I think he did it to I don't remember what move it was, but it looked so fucking badass on the GIF that I saw. It was amazing. I need to go back and check that out on the replay.
Are you talking about the one who powerbombed Cage?
No, I saw that one, but no, it was another guy. He was a skinny dude with long hair. I'm sure Bobby will tell me in the chat room. But Flip Gordon does. That was that stunt guy. Oh, okay. I have no idea who the hell that is, but it looked fucking awesome. And a lot of people said the Battle Royal was really good. It was really entertaining, and a lot of people enjoyed it. Flip Gordon got a huge pop when he won as Chico El Luchador. I'm sure El Luchador. That was great. He didn't dress up like the bear, like a lot of people were predicting as well. So Flip Gordon goes on to face Jay Lethal later on in the night. So we had our first match of the night, which I didn't even know was on the card, which was MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, taking on Matt Cross, an old veteran, Matt Cross, who is a veteran in the independent scene. So Dave, how about you give your thoughts? Yeah, also on Tough Enough as well. Your thoughts on the opening match to start off All In?
I thought it was a pretty good match. I'm a fan of Matt Cross, so hey, good to see him out there. I mean, if people don't remember him, he was in the Tough Enough when Stone Cold was the host, and he was the guy who was CM Punk's friend at the show or whatever back in the day. But yeah, I thought it was a good. I know MJF from MLW a little bit. I've seen a little bit of a few of his matches, but yeah, I mean, it was a good match. I mean, it wasn't nothing to write home about, but it was pretty good, I thought.
Now, if anybody in the chat room can enlighten me on Excalibur, that was the masked commentator along with Don Callis and Ian Riccoboni. Is that how it's? I hope I didn't butcher his last name, but I thought he was good. I thought the announce team was really good tonight. Excalibur was pretty good on commentator. I'm not sure where he's from. If anybody can enlighten me on that, I would really appreciate that. I'll let you know, Chris Surratt, when we get to the end of the show where we'll do our favorite match of the night. But yeah, MJF looked good. Matt Cross always looks good in the ring to me. It was an interesting choice of an opening match. I thought it was something that you would think you would have a match that would get the crowd really going, like a really up-paced match. But for the most part, these guys killed it, did a good job, and the crowd was still into the match, and Matt Cross picked up the win. That's when we got a backstage segment with Nick Aldis and Sean Mooney, who was there. Aldis said it's a pleasure to be interviewed by him, and there is a reason he's here in this jam-packed arena. He said it's because of the 10 pounds of gold, the NWA championship. He said that it's the reason Cody is wanting to take a step towards immortality. Nick says that this isn't the opportunity that he'll be able to capture. Aldis said that he has a date with Destiny, and she's growing impatient. So we had the next match of the night, everybody. This one was very entertaining. Stephen Amell taking on Christopher Daniels with special guest referee Jerry Lynn. Everybody knows Stephen Amell from the SummerSlam match he had with Cody Rhodes a couple of years ago. He also had a match with Neville, not with Neville, but Neville was his tag team partner, I believe. Am I right on that? Could be mistaken.
It was against Stardust and Wade Barrett.
Right. So this was his maybe third or fourth match ever, taking on a veteran out there with Christopher Daniels. And man, I'll tell you what, this match went quite a bit. I'd say about maybe 15 minutes, I would say. And for a guy like Stephen Amell, who doesn't wrestle at all, only does his TV show, and he does. I'm pretty sure. I could be mistaken, Dave. He does pretty much his own stunts, I would assume, on the show.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So he's in great shape. It's not like he doesn't know what he's doing out there in the ring. He had a lot of time to prepare for this match because it was announced a while back. And he's in there with a veteran, with Christopher Daniels, a guy about his size and a guy that can really keep him safe out there. And they weren't holding back. I mean, the things that Amell was doing out there, I was shocked. The coast-to-coast, the drop kick by him was impressive. And then that bump he took through the table was pretty rough. I thought he was legitimately hurt when he went through that table, or at least shaken up. He didn't look kind of the same after he went through that table a little bit. He kind of looked a little bit doozy, like he didn't know where he was at for a minute. Could have been just him playing, selling it. Good on him. But the match itself was pretty good. Christopher Daniels gets the win. But props to Stephen Amell. I got to give him a round of applause. He did really, really good out there. Very, very impressive performance. And I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't come maybe more of a regular thing for Amell. But your thoughts, Dave? You're the big male guy on the show, and I know you were really looking forward to this match itself. What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a good match, and the guy he came out with was actually a guy who played a villain on Arrow, so that was kind of cool to see that. And so yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. Again, a lot of people were surprised. I mean, after what I seen what he did when he was in WE, you knew he was athletic, and you knew he could do some good stuff in the ring, and then you seen him. I wasn't surprised that the match was good because I knew he was good on even that stage, but even this stage he got a bigger chance to shine. I mean, man, but the moves he did were pretty damn impressive, though. I mean, seeing him actually do and nail it the coast to coast pretty good. I think Daniels might have moved a little bit, but still to jump that far like that, and then some of the bumps he was taking in that match, it was like, oh man. I bet you the Arrow writers and the Arrow team were there, like sitting there praying in the back, like, please don't get hurt. I mean, jeez. I mean, that table bump.
That table bump was brutal, man. Like, if you go back and watch that table bump he took from the top rope, it was pretty brutal. It was no soft landing there. He went through that pretty damn hard, and like I said, he looked a little bit kind of like, ugh, I don't know if I should have done that. But it was a really entertaining match. I'm surprised that Mel didn't win. Honestly, I thought maybe he would win, just get that feel good moment over, and maybe that would be his last match. But I think this may not be the end of Mel. I wouldn't be surprised if we see if there is an All In 2, which I would not be surprised if there is, that we see him again on the show.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like he was really having fun out there too, and we already know he's a big wrestling fan. So, I mean, and I don't know, I could be wrong, but this is the most I've really ever seen a celebrity come in and do not just but in general in a wrestling ring and do what he's doing out there and go out there and actually take bumps and go out there and almost give as good as he takes. Yeah, some of his stuff didn't look crisp, yes, but you got to also account he doesn't do this regularly. I know Cody Rhodes has been training with him, so I mean, but yeah, I would not be surprised if Arrow ends up getting canceled and he ends up wanting to do more pro wrestling because if he put more time into it, he could be really good. I think. I mean, how many actors turn pro wrestlers do you see? And I mean, I can't think of another celebrity who goes out there and does what he does out there.
Yeah, for the most part, when you see celebrities involved in matches, they don't go very long. They go maybe 10 minutes tops. This guy, I think same with the WWE when he was having his matches with Rhodes and in the tag matches, they didn't go very long. And when he was out there and he didn't perform very much. But tonight, he went out there and gave it everything he had. You would have thought that this was his only this is his last match ever, because he was doing stuff that, I mean, 10-year veterans that go out and wrestle do. I mean, this guy was taking table bumps and flying across the ring and landing some perfect drop kicks. Props to Mel for taking this really serious, and I'm sure he trained his fucking ass off for this match. I mean, no doubt about it. It was surprised his match went. Yeah, exactly. Kim, it went. I didn't think this match was going to go that long. It went very long, and I'm not complaining at all. I was just surprised they had that much, confidence in Mel to have a match like that. And I think Christopher Daniels as well.
Yeah, I mean, he perfect a partner in the ring to have with him. Really, I mean, the guy take care of him, and I think they knew they were going to shock a lot of people with him when he went out there, and they did. I mean, they put on a really good match.
I hope you're having a great time at All In. Michael Berry's in the show. He's there at All In as well. He met Brandon Apter at All In as well. So thank you for joining us. I know it's probably hectic there in Chicago right now. I hope you enjoyed All In. I hope you're enjoying your experience. I'm sure you're having a hell of a time. Whoa. So next we had the Fatal 4-Way match. In retrospect, they maybe should have made that match shorter so they didn't have to. I agree, Spees. I agree. And I kind of touched on this before, Dave, as well, that some matches, and I said this during the watch party, that 4 hours was perfectly fine for the length of this match, for the length of this show. because every match got its own specific time. No matches were rushed other than the main event. No matches were rushed. All matches were able to take their time, do what they had to do in the ring. Everybody looked great. They had their little feel good moment after the end of the match with the shakes and the hugs and stuff like that. But to me, I think, and I enjoyed this match, and I shit on Okada a lot. Mostly it's for a gimmick, but I think that match went a little bit too long, and it took away from the main event. Even though I enjoyed the hell out of that match, I think some of these matches went too long to where we saw at the main event they rushed off because they went almost overtime. They rushed. They got off the show. We didn't even get we didn't even get maybe a speech afterwards, which would have been nice that we saw on Periscope. Would have been nice to see that on the pay-per-view, to see that. But they weren't able to because they ran out of time. But let's move on, and we'll touch more on that. But that's really good points, Pete. Fatal four-way match between Britt Baker, Madison Rayne, Chelsea Green, and Tessa Blanchard. And I'm not a big Madison Rayne fan. You guys know that from the Thursday night shows on the Impact on Pop post shows. But, man, I have nothing to complain about this match. I thought this match was really good. I thought Madison Rayne looked really good as well. I'm not a big fan of her, but she did really good. And I enjoyed the hell out of this match. Every woman shined. The only thing was the end of the match kind of was a funky little finish where it looked like the match was probably they were probably maybe to break the pin, but they didn't get there in time. And Tessa Blanchard gets the win over Chelsea Green. But I think in the long run, it was still a really good match. All four ladies looked really good. Tessa Blanchard shined. Chelsea Green, she had her moments. The Zack Ryder woo 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 was nice. Madison Rayne looked good. And then Britt Baker coming down to Adam Cole's old theme music. Great stuff. Really good stuff. Alex was not able to make it, man. The hospital is not being good to him. He's still at work. What about you, Dave? What did you think of the fatal four-way match between Chelsea Green, Tessa Blanchard, Madison Rayne, and Britt Baker?
I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed seeing Chelsea Green kind of go back to her old Impact days with her whole hot mess here. I don't know if she does that a lot on the independents. I haven't seen her wrestle since she left Impact, really, so I don't know. But I thought it was a good match. I always hear all this stuff about Adam Cole's girlfriend. I mean, I wasn't that impressed with her, but I mean, hey. But the other three I thought did pretty good. I mean, I've seen them all wrestle, and Tessa Blanchard got the win, and then Chelsea Green looked great out there. I almost thought maybe she was going to get the win. But, I thought there was a lot of good spots in this match, some high flying. You had everything in this match. And the finish, to me, it looked like she kicked out. And then the referee said no. Then they said, she kicked out. No, it's 3. And they never showed the replay. So they went and they cut it right away. So obviously something got messed up.
Yeah, something happened there. Mixed up between maybe the referee and the ladies there. But all in all, the match was pretty damn good. All four ladies looked good. And then after the match, props to whoever said, you know what I'm going to wear, a dildo. We're going to – oh, man. We'll get on – we'll touch on that. They all looked good, so props to all the ladies out there. And they had their little feel-good moment where they hugged afterwards and all held each other's hands. So that was nice. And props to all ladies. They did really good tonight. And next match we had was the World Heavyweight Championship, the NWA World Title between Nick Aldis and Cody Rhodes, a.k.a. the American Nightmare, was up next. Like I said on Twitter and on Thursday Night Show, they've done a really good job with the storyline and the buildup of this match, with the whole family tradition of Cody and Dustin Rhodes, and just everything that they've done with this buildup was really, really nice. They built it up also during the pre-show as well. Your thoughts, Dave, on Cody Rhodes becoming the new NWA World Heavyweight Champ? It was a really emotional match. I thought the ending of the match was really good too. I got legit goosebumps when Cody Rhodes actually won because you knew it meant so much for him to win that title. And it just knew that there's so much of the Dusty resemblance happened with the busted open face and just a lot of that stuff too. He knew that meant so much to Cody Rhodes, and he wins. Not sure what this means after that, but your thoughts, Dave?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this match, and I enjoyed how they built it up, and even having DDP come down and hand him the blade or whatever you want to say, and then distract with Daivari and the diamond card, distract everyone away from Cody. So it was really fun. I enjoyed it, and I love people are complaining about the finish. I love the finish because it reminded me of Brett and Bulldog, that finish like that, and it was
yeah, the old UK SummerSlam, right?
yeah. I mean, they remind you of that same finish, that roll up like that where it was over, and I don't know. I just like the finish, and I'm glad Cody won. And I mean, me and Alex talked about this too. Like, man, how cool would it be to see Cody win the NWA title? I mean, man, it really would. And he did, and I'm happy for him. I'm glad he got the same title. This probably means more to him than anything right now because he has the same title his dad held. And yeah, nothing they could offer him that right now.
Maybe it was the ref throwing up the extra. Yeah, the injury spot was kind of a little bit silly, and it took a little bit long for them to actually do something about it. Earl Hebner like throwing up the X, and then finally you get DDP to come out to the ring, and finally Daivari comes out. It took a while for it to finally pick up. Yeah, they did lay the blade a while, and it took a little bit for it to happen. And finally when it did, that's when things started picking up again. And dang, like you said, Cody picked up the win.
I think they were supposed to come down a lot quicker, and they didn't, or they were supposed to stay out there, and they just forgot. I think because he came down running down really fast, and it was just weird. And you knew he was handing him something because when he first showed him there, his head wasn't bleeding. He was fine. And then Paige goes in, gives a diamond cutter. All of a sudden, Cody comes up and he's bleeding, which you knew that was coming, though. I mean, I was sitting here thinking.
I think someone mentioned it because. Like someone said, wait, because someone tweeted like, wait, Cody Rhodes wasn't bleeding when DDP went out there. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even notice that. That's funny. Yeah. What's up, bud? How you doing tonight?
Yeah, but
that was pretty good. That was pretty good. But props to Cody. I guess maybe to where do you think we see do we see a rematch? I know Cody's more on the ROH and New Japan, but do we see this at a ROH pay-per-view? NWA special on YouTube, or what do you think's next?
I think we're going to see stuff like that. I think we're going to see Cody get a long run as the NWA champion, and we're going to see Cody Rhodes featured a lot on their YouTube stuff. How they show matches on the YouTube channel. It'll actually, and like I was telling Alex before, we both on this. It'd be so cool because Cody can go around the world defending the NWA title like they do with the other guy.
Maybe defend it on New Japan. You think that's possible?
Yeah, I think it is, and I think he'll defend it for like their their NWA shows too. And this will help get the NWA recognized more. You have Cody Rhodes. We won't use the name Rhodes, but we all know it is. But Cody Rhodes is the NWA champion. I mean, having a Rhodes as your face of your company is going to be big for Mr. Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, Nick Aldis looked good as well. I want to give him props as well. That was probably Nick Aldis' best match I've seen him have. And his TNA and Impact days was really good. So props to both men. Cody gets the win. He's the new NWA champion, and see what happens now. Cody's got to be careful to not stretch himself too thin. NWA, ROH, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Yeah, they want to overdo it now. Yeah, definitely, because that's how injuries end up happening. Luckily, with New Japan, they have a weird-ass schedule where they don't wrestle as much. But, yeah, I see what you're saying, definitely. He does not take any breaks. He's a man that takes it 100% all the time. And man, I don't know what else to say about this event. It was amazing when I turned on the show and I saw I know we all expected the sellout that they had. We all knew that happened, but just seeing it and seeing the crowd and just taking it all in, it just looked amazing. It looked amazing. Yeah, no pun intended. I didn't even mean it. That was no pun. That was wow. I just thought it looked amazing on TV. It was just amazing. It was really cool to see so many fans travel around the world to come to that event that Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks put on and did so much hard work to put that show on for us fans. Yes, we may have not have known everybody that was on the card, and yes, there may have not been storylines around the card, and a lot of them had no backstories, and a lot of these matches were just put together. But hey, I mean, I think out of the whole show, I think everybody walked out of it saying, fuck, I can't wait for All In number 2. I tell you what, All In number 2 cannot come any quicker. But I don't want to move on. We'll touch on that a little bit after the show. So next we have the Chicago Street Fight. And this was a guy that I heard a lot about, especially Red Sox fan. He was telling me that this was his match of the night and that to really take a look at Joey Janela versus Hangman Page and a Chicago Street Fight. And when we saw everything in this match, from a Cracker Barrel, from ladders, from tables, from everything. I mean, this match was all over the place. Joey Janela took some incredible bumps by Hangman Page. That chair bump that he took from the toss by Hangman Page looked brutal. He landed on the side. Oh, man, that looked like that fucking hurt. But all in all, great. It wasn't – I'm not going to say great. That's stretching. It was an entertaining match for what it was. And props – who was it with him again, Dave?
Penelope Ford.
Sorry?
Penelope Ford.
Penelope Ford. Wow. I'm not sure full time or on the independent scene, but god damn, she was fucking impressive. Holy crap. When she went in there and got a little physical with Hangman, she was holding her own for a little bit. It was nice, and the match was pretty good. Some brutal spots, but Dave, what did you think? And I liked how Callis said this was probably a lot of people's first time seeing Joey Janela, and they also brought up that he's done something similar to All In, throwing his own similar shows. I think he had one in New York not too long ago as well, and I think that was Riddle's last independent show as well. So, what did you think of the match?
I thought it was fun. I didn't know they were going to do that far, and I like the build-up they were doing with before the match with Adam Page doing like he was dreaming, and then
the whole Joey. Oh my god, the Joey Ryan.
Funny. I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny how he admitted to killing Joey Ryan, and I mean that whole story and build-up to like who killed Joey Ryan was hilarious. And I mean, just the talking boots was funny, and then at the end when you have Matt Jackson back there, I think it was Matt Jackson, and he's all telling you, go to Gorilla, go get ready, you're next. And then he has headphones on like he's producing the show. Who knows, he might really be producing the show, but I thought that was just a little funny thing they were doing. Going to the match, though, I mean, man, the match was really fun. I mean, and that, like you said, that power bomb, I think he was supposed to go through both tables, but he kind of mid it under, you know?
Yes. Oh, Speeds is not a fan of Joey Janela. Okay. All right. I'm curious to know why. I don't know much about him, so I can't really say if I like him or dislike him. I just know that this guy, he puts his body through anything. It looked like this guy doesn't give a shit. It seems like.
Yeah, I mean that's what it seems like, and I don't know this hardcore style. I mean, man, I don't know. I kind of like it how they were doing the match, and it was fun. I mean, I thought freaking Page killed him with that powerbomb spot. I was like, holy shit.
Joey Ryan. I miss I miss Red. Not bad. Yeah, Joey. Okay, just get to the Joey Ryan part.
Okay, really quick though. That finish though, when he did his finisher off the ladder, I was like, holy shit, he's gonna kill him. And I was just like, boom.
It looked like Adam Page was doing everything he could to try to kill Joey Janela.
I know.
Mean, he was doing brutal ass. I mean, he threw a fucking powerbomb him off the stage through tables. I mean, this guy was.
I can't remember what his finisher is called, but that little, it's kind of like a reverse tombstone in a way. But yeah, it's like, man. And then the spot with the boots was pretty hilarious, though. I thought it was pretty funny. And then he grabs the phone and that was just funny. I mean, Callis nailed it with that stuff he was throwing in there. I mean, he was just funny. I mean, they kept saying, kill Joey Janela, kill him.
Yeah, he almost did. for God's sakes. Now let's get to the Joey Ryan part where lights shut off in the arena. A video comes up with Joey Ryan's member rising in his pants. And we get penis and ball druids come out. That's probably something that we'll never see again on live pay-per-view TV. Penises on our TV, inflatable penises.
Oh, he's not.
Ryan makes his return. And we get rest in penis chants. I mean, I don't even know what to say about this. It was funny. It was funny. I'm not a big Joey Ryan guy. I don't really get the dick stuff, but it was funny. I mean, we saw a gigantic penis in the crowd that was getting tossed around. I mean, it was just interesting to say the least. Dave, what do you think about that?
I thought it was. Don't like the Joey Ryan stuff. They think that it's hurting pro wrestling. It's all this. It's stupid and all that. But you know what? I think it's kind of entertaining. I think Joey Ryan's funny. I think he's very entertaining. And that's what it is. He's comic relief. And when he comes out to wrestle, he does these intergender matches a lot. And his.
Do you think his type of gimmick though is kind of hurting wrestling though? Does it give wrestling a little bit of a bad name?
Let me ask you this: are all these flips, dips, and trips hurting pro wrestling more than what Joey Ryan is doing?
No. Does it make you? What is running through your head when you see someone grab him by the dick and he gets tossed by someone else's dick? What are you thinking at that moment, dude? Are you really thinking that's realistic? I really think someone's getting flipped over by someone's dick.
No, but we got to remember, pro wrestling. It's a story. It's entertainment. Even though we don't like the word entertainment a lot, we like pro wrestling. But you know what? At the end of the day, pro wrestling is nothing different than a TV show or a movie or anything else. It's just telling a story. Well, it's live and it's right there. It's like it's a scripted. You know, we all know wrestling's scripted, and it's like a TV show. You're telling a story. Do we think dragons are real? No. I mean, I see it. Look outside, see dragons flying around, but people still watch it and enjoy it. That's what's cool about Joey Ryan. I think half the audience half the people hate him, and half the people like him.
Yeah, and I mean, props for this guy getting over his gimmick. I heard that he had long lines at, no pun intended, long lines at StarCast at the meet and greet. So he's a popular wrestler. I don't see much in him. I did think tonight was entertaining. You know, seeing those druids fucking penises out there, and it's just weird. It's just weird. I don't. That's something that is taken way too seriously when it doesn't need to be. That's true. I can see what you mean by that. That was the best pro wrestling card I've seen in 15 years.
Tony, good question. Okay, we've seen Flip do it tonight, but do you think there were people back then, maybe the old timers or people who thought Hogan's little gimmick was hurting pro wrestling? Because all he did is hulk up, couple punches, big boot, leg drop, match over. Do you think people thought that was hurting pro wrestling?
Oh no, definitely not. I mean, I was a youngster and I was a big Hulkster guy, taking my vitamins and saying my prayers.
I mean, you could say the same thing about a lot of stuff, and people complain about how the style is today when it's all a bunch of high spots.
Wrestling is not going to satisfy everyone. You know, someone is always going to have something against something in wrestling. Someone's not going to like the flipping. Someone's not going to like the slow paced matches. You know, people are not going to like women wrestling. You know, it's just all about your opinion. To me, Joey Ryan, it's hard to take him serious. Yes, when he does have his own seriousness, he can have a good match. I just don't see the gimmick. I don't see why people are big fans of it. But that's him, and I can't hate on you if you like him. I mean, he's a popular wrestler, a popular indie wrestler.
I like Joey. Yeah, I think at first I didn't like him because I thought it was stupid, but because you hear about the dick flip stuff and you're like, okay, And I think a lot of you who don't like Joey Ryan are Jim Cornette listeners because Jim Cornette hates Joey Ryan.
Yeah, but I can see why. He's an old school guy, and I could see why people would not see why that shit's in wrestling. You know, when you're wrestling, you don't think of a guy grabbing someone by the dick and balls and getting flipped over. You know.
Yeah, Jim Cornette.
You know, I can see why Jim Cornette would not be. I wouldn't be as serious as Jim Cornette and telling someone to fucking kill himself or something like that. But I can see why that would upset an old timer saying, you know, I wrestled where if that shit would never happen in a ring. Nowadays, it's fucking over with the fans. But it's just I can understand both sides of the story.
Yeah, but
Vince had a heart attack tonight. Cornette just is a petty old fuck. I prefer when wrestlers at least try to convince me that it's a real fight, even though it's not. Yeah, I feel you on that. I absolutely agree with you. We'll touch on Vince, and Dave and I talked about it before the show, and it's just going to be a sad thing that you guys, everybody in the chat room, and Dave and I are going to have to deal with, and we'll touch on that after the show. Let's move on to the next match, which is Jay Lethal taking on Flip Gordon for the ROH World Championship. Everybody known that Flip Gordon won the over-the-budget Battle Royal to get the #1 contender shot, and we had Jay Lethal go back in time and turn back to the machismo Jay Lethal, back to the Macho Man days, and had Lenny Poffo, Macho Man's brother, out there with him, and Flip came out with Brandy Rhodes. I really enjoyed this match. We did this during the watch party. I actually thought for a minute Flip Gordon was going to get the win, but Jay Lethal gets the win. I love the lethal injection finisher. I love that finisher so much. That finisher is so sweet. But Jay Lethal gets the win. Your thoughts of the ROH World Championship match?
Jim Cornette's favorite wrestler, Flip Gordon. I mean,
oh gosh.
I mean, but you know what? Yeah, I've seen a few Flip matches, and yeah, it is what it is. But I mean, yeah, I like Jay Lethal, and it was cool to see the genius out there with the Black Machismo and doing the whole thing. But yeah, I mean, I wish one thing I didn't like seeing Brandy Rhodes out there because she just took an elbow drop, in the Cody Rhodes match, and then a couple matches later she's out there like she's fine. I didn't like that part of it. But, I mean, it is what it is. Little stuff. I know I complain.
Can I say this? Can I ask you, was Brandy Rhodes a little bit of Stephanie McMahonish tonight?
Well, she didn't get involved.
No, being like, she was just, to me, she was a lot involved. Not involved, but showcased a lot during the show.
Oh, why wouldn't she be? Her husband is part of the ones who made the show.
Yeah, but she's not involved in the show.
Well, I'm sure she was involved in the show, but I understand what you're saying. But if you follow them at all, they're friends. She was out there supporting her friend.
Oh, I understand that, but it seemed like she was. She was a lot. In the pre-show, she was talking and being interviewed to a lot of it being around her, and not around the actual matches on the card, You get what I'm saying? Kind of.
Yeah, I didn't see. So I didn't see all that, but okay, maybe. I mean, but heck, it's Cody's wife, so I mean, yeah, I mean, I get why she's. A lot of people might not
stop her. Who's going to stop her from going out there?
Yeah, I mean, and why not? I mean, she goes out there and she's trying to wrestle too a little bit, but I mean. Yeah, you know what? And I'm sure she was involved in helping get StarCast together too. I mean, it was their money to help them and the Young Bucks. All their money to. I think the Young Bucks wives were there too, I believe, but not like Brandy. But yeah, but Brandy's a personality too right now, and heck.
Okay. See, if you're not watching Being the Elite, then you probably have no fucking clue, and that's why we sound fucking foolish. Liz says, well, she had a storyline with Flip on the BTE where she was trying to get him booked.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for her to be out there, but I can see why Dave doesn't seem like she should have because she took that elbow drop off the top rope earlier in the match with Cody Rhodes and Aldis. Let's see. Okay. Thank you for saying that. We don't watch Being the Elite. Maybe I should start watching that a little bit more so I can be up to tabs on things and not sound fucking foolish like I just did right now. All right, so let's move on to the next match. The match that I was really looking forward to, which was Pentagon taking on Kenny Omega. Wow, what a match. What happened afterwards was the fucking cherry on top. But, man, this match itself was fantastic. But after the match was what probably was going to have everybody talking, and that's the lights go off, and you're like, what the hell's going on? Is The Undertaker showing up? Lights go back on, and you see Pentagon still laying in the ring, and I'm thinking, wow, is this actual – did they actually have a fuck-up? Did the lights actually go off? Oh, boy, no, that's not what happened. We see Pentagon get up. Well, we think it's Pentagon, and it's Chris Jericho dressed up as Pentagon and attacks Kenny Omega and beats the living shit out of him, and then pretty much says, I'll see you at the Jericho Cruise, which is a bummer because I don't believe that's going to be televised. So if you're going to that Jericho Cruise, boy, oh boy, you're lucky. And I mentioned this during the watch party. Man, how awesome would it be? And I'm not sure if New Japan would ever consider this, and maybe they've done it before. Man, imagine if Jericho threw down the challenge at Wrestle Kingdom to take on Omega again, title versus title.
He can't.
He can't. And why is that?
Tanahashi won the G1, so he gets.
That's right. That is correct. Is there any more pay-per-views between then or now? Between Wrestle Kingdom?
Yeah, there's one this month. Like sometime this month. There's one at the new U.S. show they're doing, but yeah.
That's right. That's correct. That's right. So I just don't understand why they won't do this at another show where everybody can see it. I guess because Jericho is not going to win, obviously. I would assume maybe they put the title on the line to get some more people to go onto the cruise. But hey, this is more of a selling pitch for Jericho. It's going to get more people to go on the cruise to see this match and specifically. And how awesome was it to see Jericho show up like that, and first ever showing up at a different show on American soil. That's never happened before.
Yep, that's what's really that right there. The match was great. The match was fun. The spots were great. Kenny Omega won, of course. It was fun seeing Pentagon and Kenny Omega first time, I believe, and it was fun. But let's get to the meat and potatoes list. I mean, Jericho actually, which everyone said he would never show. Even he said it, but then he kind of went back a little bit, saying, "Well, maybe I would." And he did tonight, and he even said before he wouldn't be at All In, and he showed, which he does that. He'll troll people, make us think he's not going to do something, and he's done or whatever. But to actually see him at All In and show up and get involved and be there on his face was shown and everything on their pay-per-view. And man, and some people are saying, "Oh, Vince McMahon, he burned bridges with Vince McMahon by doing that and all that." Honestly, I don't care if he did it. I don't think he did either. I'm just saying, but I don't care because I don't want him back in the WWE because this Chris Jericho is the one I want.
He didn't do Vince McMahon. No, if you make money for Vince, he's not going to say bye to you. Jericho is an instant money maker. He's probably happy for Jericho right now. Jericho is probably the most popular he's ever been in years. In years. The only guy that I would say that maybe burnt a bridge with Vince, and I don't even think it's no. Speed is right. No one's burnt a bridge with Vince. Everybody's Punk is probably the one guy you would think would never come back to the WWE. Basically, because Punk probably would never go back, and you would think Vince wouldn't accept him. Vince would open his arms gladly for CM Punk. Gladly, if he came back knocking on the door wanting to come back, Vince would open his arms freely. Come here, Punk. Easily. Triple H, Stephanie, maybe not so easy. But if you make money for Vince, he's gonna open up the gate for you. Jericho, Goldberg. I mean, guys, Sting. I mean, come on now, people. Jericho didn't burn no fucking bridges at all. He'll be on the next WrestleMania if Vince McMahon or Jericho asked Vince to be on it. Come on now, people. I mean,
I really don't. I don't want Jericho back in the WWE at all. I like this Chris Jericho. We're getting a different version of him, and even he said he's not the same. This Jericho is not the WWE Jericho, and it's not, and it's better. He's reinvented himself, and let's not forget, Jericho said this on his podcast that he offered this to Vince first. That hey, how about we get some NXT guys and come on my cruise and we have some matches? And Vince turned him down and said no.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, Jericho even wanted the IWGP to be at SummerSlam, so it's not like Jericho isn't trying to be on both companies. And Adam Bomb, hopefully Alberto. No, Alberto. What I've been reading that Alberto and Vince have a great relationship, regardless of him beating the shit out of Paige and these drugs speculations and all this crap. Nobody cares. Vince doesn't care if you make him money. Look what the fuck Brock. I mean, Brock defended the championship like 5 times in a year. Brock gave him money. He didn't give a shit that the title was never on Raw. I mean, goddamn, he didn't care. He was making him money every single pay-per-view. So, but before money, Jericho will be right back.
But that's a great point too about Brock, because before his little run, but years ago, when Brock showed up and took out John Cena, everyone was shocked. They never thought Brock would ever show back in the WWE, show back up, you know? And that was like those holy shit moments. No one ever thought they'd see Brock again, and he showed up. Goldberg, I mean, you're right, anything's possible, but I just hope Jericho stays away from the WWE, because this Jericho we're getting right now on the Indies is the best Chris Jericho we've had in years.
And tonight, we saw a little, I don't know if anybody saw the speech that Cody Rhodes and Omega had after the show was over on Periscope. I can't remember what podcast came on to show that, but to me, it just, the writing is on the wall for Kenny Omega to leave and go to the WWE. Not because that's what I want to see. To me, he's going to make so much money for them and for himself that I don't think that there's no reason for him to not go. I know we're scared and don't want to see him leave, but I just feel like, man, he's going to make so much money in the WWE, because I feel like he would be treated like the AJ Styles. He wouldn't be put on NXT. He'd be straight up moved up to the main roster immediately, because there's just so much baggage and so much popularity with this man right now. I just don't see how he won't end up in the WWE just for him making so much money. The money offer, I just think, would be tremendous. You know what I mean? That's why.
Yeah, I understand. And him make more money and provide for his family and do all this, but man, I do not want to see him go to WWE at all, because I mean, look what they've done to already some other favorites right there who never get used. And look at Finn Balor. He was a big star in Japan, and then now look at him. He can't even beat Baron Corbin on TV. I mean, it's just bad. I think Triple H wants to get him and put his Vince, and then he just does what he wants with him. And if he doesn't like him, then he doesn't like him.
I think Triple H wants Omega bad.
Yeah, because right now, just because they're so hot right now and they're killing what they did tonight. Yeah, I think he wants all of them. That's why he wants to stop this thing.
After tonight, I don't want to. Oh, we're almost over. We'll touch on that. So next we had Okada taking on Marty Scurll. I really enjoyed this match. I thought the match went a little bit too long, but I have no other complaints other than that. I thought Marty Scurll looked fantastic. I'm not a big Okada guy, but I think Okada looked fantastic. And I was pulling for Marty Scurll. I was kind of hoping Marty Scurll would get the win. It looked like a couple of times he was, but he ended up not getting the win over Okada. Okada gets the win. What was your thoughts on this match, Dave?
I thought it was damn good. I was impressed with this match. Okada looked really good. Marty looked really good there. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I'm curious to hear what you thought whenever you watch an Okada wrestle. Like live.
Yeah, I guess I can see the little bit of the hype of Okada a little bit. What's the 205 stuff? Is that him making a little dig at 205 Live, or am I missing something?
Who?
Okada. BTE. What? Okay, BTE. All right, see. Can someone explain to me what the 205 is all about? Because it's a jab at Marty. Oh
yeah,
fucking moron, everybody. Don't mind me. I'm just a fucking moron. Hey, it makes sense now. Okay, that's funny. That's funny. That's actually pretty hilarious. And hey, Marty Scurll looked good out there tonight. And I can see a little bit of the hype of an Okada. Okada put on a really fantastic match, and I can see why everybody kind of sees the full package in him that he sells, and he puts on good matches and the drop kicks and all that stuff. But yeah, I just thought the match went a little bit too long. But hey, it is what it is. I thought the match was pretty good. And maybe, I don't know what's next for these two guys. It wasn't really anything other than just a match just put together, but it was a really good match. Main event. And this one went about 150 miles per hour from beginning to end. And that was Rey Mysterio, Rey Fenix, and Bandito taking on the Young Bucks and Ibushi. Rey Fenix almost died tonight, everybody. And so did Bandito. The Bandito with the backflip. What was it called, Dave? The
fallaway slam.
The fallaway slam on one of the Young Bucks. Bandito almost did not make it over all the way. He almost landed on his head. And then Phoenix jumps out of the ring and almost falls short of reaching everybody, but luckily they caught him. But man, Bandito impressed the shit out of me. Holy crap. I did not, and funny that you mentioned that, Speeds. When I saw Bandito at first, and this is the first time I've ever seen him, and the way they made it seem like that this guy was a veteran, but maybe he is a vet, but he said he was very young, like in his mid-20s. But it kind of, when I first saw him, he looked like Sabu a little bit. But man, he was impressive. And Dave even mentioned tonight about Rey Fenix that. What was your little thoughts on Rey Fenix tonight?
Because what they said is that he could be the next Rey Mysterio, and I was like, man, he really could be. He might be the next Rey Mysterio because, man, the way he walks those ropes, I mean, man, I'm sorry, Grand Metalik. Phoenix is the real king of the ropes. I mean, holy shit.
Yeah, the shit that Phoenix did tonight, that Canadian Destroyer was insane. The stuff that they do in the ring, I don't understand how the fuck they do it. I don't know how they do the shit they do. The reverse hurricane ranas, all that stuff is just insane. I don't know how they do it. I would be so scared to take a Canadian Destroyer because it's so easy just to fuck up and kill yourself in that move. But yeah, it's so awesome to see this match, and I it's kind of sad that they were a little bit rushed, because some of the matches went too long and they couldn't go over the probably overtime on the pay-per-view. It ended up being over about 2 minutes before the top of the hour. But man, it was a really good main event. I don't think it should have been the main event tonight. I think Cody Rhodes and Aldis should have been the main event. But I think the match was pretty good. And Rey Fenix and Bandito were definitely the MVPs of that match, I thought. Even though they lost, I thought they shined the most.
That was really cool to see Rey Mysterio in there with like Kota Ibushi and the Young Bucks. That was just like kind of those surreal moments, where you didn't think you'd ever see. And it was really cool to see, I thought. Yeah, and the match was fun. I agree with you. And it ended really abruptly. Yeah. I was like, okay, there's like barely any time left, so that's why they ended it like that. But, I mean, man, these guys went out there and killed it. And, I mean, they had a fun match. But, again, this is probably Jim Cornette's favorite match of the night, too, because they were just all over the place with all these spots. And it was just like, man, going everywhere. But it was fun. I mean, I enjoy Phoenix. I think, man, Phoenix is so fun to watch. I mean, after just watching his match with Cage on Thursday, then tonight watching him out there was just amazing.
Yeah, the stuff he can do in that ring, he's like a goddamn Spider-Man, dude. Phoenix is Spider-Man. He can do anything in that ring. Makes it look so crisp and so good. He never messes up. He looks really good when he does those type of moves. That move on the top ropes was amazing. Yeah, good match. I thought it was rushed. It was rushed to end the night. That kind of sucked. But overall, it was a pretty good match. As long as you go in knowing they sell nothing, matches like that are fun. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And the Young Bucks look good, and they win the match. So let's go to the ratings for tonight, and then we'll get to the match of the night, and we can kind of rant and bitch a little bit about some things. But Dave, Bobaruski tonight for a special one night only wanted us to do a 1 to 10 rating tonight. Usually we do a 1 to 5, but I'm thinking Bobaruski thought the show was so good it needed to be a 1 to 10 rating. So, Dave, 1 to 10, what did you think of tonight's show?
Man, I can't anything. Everything was give it a 10.
Whoa, you're gonna give it a 10. Okay, Jeffrey Cross, 8 out of 5. Speed, 7 out of 10. Adam Bomb, 9 out of 10. Okay, 7 out of 10 wasn't as good as Takeover. Wow. Okay, yeah, 5 out of 10. 10. 9 out of 10. Wow, look at these high ass ratings. This is crazy.
I'm sorry, dude. But someone not as good as it blew Takeover, SummerSlam, WrestleMania Takeover. It blew them all out of the water. I'm sorry. This show tonight blew it all out of the water.
I don't know about WrestleMania Takeover,
but the SummerSlam and Takeover they did.
I mean, it's hard to compare a Takeover to All In because All In was a 4-hour event. Now, if you want to try to compare that to SummerSlam, sure, but you know it's kind of hard to compare the two because one show has storylines and backstories and shit like that, and
one show didn't need it.
If WWE put on a one night only of these special attraction matches, I think we would be just as excited and happy as we are tonight. You know,
what do you call that down? That's so basic.
You're breaking up. What was that?
So what do you call the Down Under show, or whatever, Super Showdown or whatever? That's basically a special.
But those really special attraction. Yeah, I mean Undertaker and Triple H is fun. Yeah, sure, cool. Yeah, but we're not gonna see a Daniel Bryan take on what's a dream match, you know, in the WWE. Daniel Bryan versus who? Throw out someone from the Raw brand. So we won't see. Daniel Bryan versus The Undertaker. That's a match that we won't see that. Or Seth Rollins taking on Nakamura, or Seth Rollins taking on AJ Styles, or Seth Rollins taking on this and that. You won't see that. You'll see other matches. We're gonna see a fucking tag match of guys that we don't want to see. We're seeing Ronda Rousey team up with Natalya, and I can't remember who else to take on the Riot Squad. I mean, do we really care? That's not a special attraction match because Rousey's on it. Yeah, sure, but nobody gives a shit about that compared to what we got tonight. These are special one night only matches. These matches you probably won't see again until another All In. What are the odds that we see in Omega and Pentagon again?
Yeah,
probably never. Unless they meet up again on the independent wrestling scene. Or like Jay Lethal, Flip Gordon. That's probably a possibility to happen again. But a lot of these matches that we saw are probably matches that we won't see again. So I can see why a lot of people would say, man, this match was awesome and this card and show was great because it was a lot of matches that we probably will never see again. But I'm not going to say anything. I thought tonight showed that it's not about all the WWE anymore, that they can put the show on a yearly basis and they will succeed. If there's an All In 2, they're going to do just as good. I don't know if they could expand and try to do like a bigger arena, but hey, if they want to keep this as a yearly thing, I don't see why they couldn't. I see that, more and more wrestlers are going to want to be on this card, seeing especially the outcome they got tonight. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next year in a couple of months, and if they decide to keep this going and how heavy maybe WWE goes after the Young Bucks and maybe possibly Omega. It's going to be interesting to see what happens this time next year. Are we talking about another All In? Or are we talking about what could have happened? It's going to be interesting to see. What are your thoughts on this?
On what?
Do you think there's going to be an all-in number 2?
I think there has to be after the success they had, and I mean, this to me blew everything out of the water. I mean, the women's match, they just basically they killed it. I mean, everything. I mean, they have to do something more to this. I mean, the only thing they didn't have on this show was title matches. That was it. It was just, and it was just like, wow. And yeah, all the matches, like you said, one night only matches. To me, that alone, all these one night only matches, I mean, basically blows Takeover right out of the water, blows SummerSlam out of the water. I mean, anything the WWE's done in the last year, not really done much of anything anymore.
England, you didn't remember. Big Cass changed his name. I don't know if you guys saw that. He's now a Big C. That's his new name now. Big Cunt. You can call him the Big Cunt. But yeah, he's now the Big C. He's no longer Big Cass. But hey, props to All In tonight. Props to Cody Rhodes. Props to the Young Bucks. They did what they did. They did what they said that they were going to do. They sold out a show that a lot of people probably had their doubts with. And we'll see what happens in the future. I honestly think that Omega is going to be with the WWE in at least by 2020. I just feel like WWE is going to keep offering him so much money to where he can't refuse. It's going to be so interesting to see. I'm actually so excited to see what happens in the next couple of months because we're all hoping that Vince McMahon is going to open his eyes and figure out that what we're getting on a weekly basis is not always what we want to see, and that we want to see other things on the show, and we want to see awesome matches put on a weekly basis and stuff like that. But Vince McMahon doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care. I mean, he's probably like kind of semi-threatened about what Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks did, but he knows he can end that in a fucking heartbeat by signing all these fucking guys on the independent scene. It's not going to be hard for him to do that. Trust me. He's not worried about what Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks are doing. That's it. Vince isn't coming around at this point. It only changes when he hands over the book. Yeah. Triple H knows what the hell to do. And we all can bitch and moan that we all know Triple H is going to probably go after every favorite's independent wrestler. Triple H is going to go after the Young Bucks. He's going to go after the Omegas. They're going to probably try to get Cody Rhodes back. He's probably going to even go after Zack Sabre or Will Ospreay or maybe a Marty Scurll or maybe a Hangman Page or all these guys that are, these that are hot on the indie scene right now. Trust me, Triple H knows what the hell is going on. He knows that he's getting threatened. He's having this MSG sold-out show the same night as the WrestleMania TakeOver. He knows what's up. He knows that there's competition. WWE doesn't have competition with New Japan and ROH and Impact. It's NXT that has the competition. That's the competition for them. And Triple H knows it. He has to bring his motherfucking A game at WrestleMania weekend. He better hope that card is amazing because they're not going to beat that MSG show. I'm like, oh, look who's in the show. Brandon After making a cameo appearance. So, Brandon After, what'd you think of the show tonight, my friend, who was there live? What did you think of it? So, man, it was interesting. It was a fun night. I was surprised how quick and fast the show went. 4 hours didn't seem like it was 4 hours. Nothing really dragged. It was a really good show tonight. Any what was your favorite match of the night, Dave?
Oh, that's a tough one. I guess just because of the moment at the end, I'll go Cody and Magnus or Nick Aldis, whatever you want to call him.
Cody, okay. Cody Rhodes and Aldis was your favorite match. What about you after being there live? What was your favorite match? What was you guys' favorite match in the chat room? Like I see, dude, the guest on your dad's podcast is insane. Hogan, Sting, Stu Benny. Yeah, definitely go follow the After Chat. He's been having some awesome interviews lately, and go follow Brandon After on the After Hours podcast as well. Do you want to shoot the shit a little bit? Touch on a little bit on these wrestling rumors? Anybody you guys interested in some wrestling rumors, or should we just tidy up the show tonight? because I have a couple of stuff we can talk about. Unless you guys wanted to just end the show, we will just do that. We will just do that. No call-ins tonight. I don't have my my Skype up at the moment. Really enjoyed the ML Daniels just because it far exceeded expectations. Yeah, I enjoyed the women's match. To be honest with you, I really enjoyed the women's match and thought that match was maybe I don't know, Kenny Omega and Pentagon was something else though. That was a really good match. All right, so we got some backstage news on WWE's plans for Charlotte and Becky Lynch rivalry. So buckle your seatbelts for this, everybody. So if you are interested in this and you don't want any spoilers, I would say good night, everybody. But if you want to just shoot the shit and laugh and talk about this stuff, remember, it's just rumors and speculations, not 100% true. We're not trying to ruin anybody's type of storylines. If you love the build up and want to be organic, thank you for joining us tonight. But if you would love to shoot the shit with us, keep on staying on with the show with us. Again, this is to Get the Tables. We're live every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sunday nights. This is a special edition show because of the All In post show. Hope everybody enjoyed All In. Thank you, Bryce, for joining us again. We will be back live again next weekend at the regular show on Sunday night, which we may have to change since it'll be the opening weekend of football. I don't know if I want to go up against that competition, but maybe we'll do another Saturday night edition of the Shoot the Shit show. So please hit that follow button if you're new to the show. If not, go follow us on YouTube at Get the Tables. And we do have a Patreon account. It's in the Periscope profile. If you want to be in a giveaway at the end of September for the Young Bucks pop figurines, all you got to do is donate $1. That's all I'm asking. It will help. All the money that's donated will go into the show, and we would really appreciate you guys just checking out the Patreon account. Just read it, and that's all. Anybody else wish non-WWE events would not take shots at WWE? Yes, I do. I think it's kind of cheap sometimes, and it's not really needed. Like, I feel like that's just a cheap way to get cheers as well. There's no need for you guys to rip WWE. I know, and we get it. A lot of fans are not happy with the WWE and what they're showing up on the product and how certain wrestlers are getting treated. We get it, but we're trying to get when we're watching All In, we're trying to get away from that WWE stuff. Our minds are focused on what's going on All In and whatever else is going on. We're trying to forget about WWE and Finn Balor and Becky Lynch and all that shit. You know, I agree with you. Just don't talk about HBK or the Street Profits, and you'll get. Oh, speaking of HBK, everybody, HBK will be on Raw Monday night. Don't forget, HBK live on Monday night. Set your DVRs. Probably going to be the best Raw ever. And he's probably going to have a lot of special, important stuff to say.
You know what? Thinking about Tony, it's really not fair us to compare All In to WWE. I mean, it's like comparing a horror movie to a Disney movie because WWE is all PG now, and so whatever we don't like, we should. I guess we can't really complain too much. We're still watching it because WWE's PG and they cater to young children, so that's why they are what they are right now. They're not as good as they once were, and that's why a lot of us, people who grew up in the Attitude Era, who are watching it, don't like what we're seeing now because it's a kid show.
No, it's not much of. I mean, it's not a kid show, but it's more kid friendly. We're not going to get the edginess that we get on an Impact or Lucha Underground or even a New Japan with the cussing and the blood and stuff like that. That era is over with. If we get blood, it's because it's purely on accident. It was probably not meant to happen. But I mean, we'll see what happens. It is hard to compare to WWE to stuff like that because WWE is on a different boat now, and that's all I really can say about that. But let's just go to Becky Lynch and the Charlotte stuff. WWE officials have taken notice of how the WWE fans have been responding to Becky Lynch since her recent heel turn. As a result, their plan going forward will be not to try to have much of a classic babyface and heel dynamic in the rivalry, but rather they're going to present both Becky and Charlotte as having valid arguments and let the fans decide who they want to cheer for. As I stated on a Rewind a SmackDown, the portrayal of Becky Lynch has been slightly adjusted coming off last week's reaction to her turn. The new idea is for Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair to have less a babyface and heel dynamic. Instead, they are two ex-friends that each have valid reasons for their actions. It's not designed to be a double turn. The thinking behind turning Becky initially was to freshen her character and have her in a bigger spotlight, which they feel they can still achieve this way. While there are many examples of the WWE fighting the audience on specific character, this one where they seem to have realized immediately that there is a better option to achieving the same objective. So basically, I know we were talking about maybe them doing possibly a double turn where they turn Charlotte heel and they go a different route with Becky Lynch. I mean, isn't this going to be obvious? The fans are going to be behind Becky Lynch?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. But they don't care.
1 second.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's weird that they want to say they're going to do it like this, but I don't know, because it's just... no one cares about Charlotte as a face. I mean, let's be honest. People are mad that Becky's a heel now, so... I don't know, I mean... How does everyone else feel about what Tony just read? I mean, because to me, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, they could have freshened up Lynch up by not putting Charlotte in the match. Yeah, basically, they could have just had Becky Lynch win the title and go from there. You want to freshen up her character and make her shine, make her be in the spotlight and see how she does? You should have just had her in the match with Carmella by herself, had her moment, win the title, boom, go from there. But yeah, you had to put Charlotte in there because you weren't confident in the two ladies that were in the match. You wanted to make it bigger than it was, obviously, because it was at SummerSlam. There was no reason for Charlotte to win. Absolutely none reason for her to win.
But would that have freshened up Becky's character if she just beat Carmella? I mean, I don't think it would have. I get why they did it, but the fans just aren't having it. I mean, that's the bigger question right there. Is the fans wanted Becky to win the title, and they still want Becky as champion, but they don't want heel Becky. They want the same Becky they got before. And it's just... They don't like the fact that they're making her turn on the fans and all that. They don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, what did they expect? The fans are tired of Charlotte. That's why she's getting these Roman Reigns comparisons. Could you have had Becky turn on Charlotte without turning heel? Yeah. They tried to turn her heel with the whole blaming, not blaming the fans, but mentioning the fans. You know what I mean? That's why.
What's really funny about this? They'll listen to the Becky Lynch stuff. That, it's not working. This ain't working, so we got to possibly do something different. Well, this isn't working with Becky Lynch. Okay, so they're just friends. But when everyone boos the shit out of Roman Reigns, okay, no, that doesn't count.
The hell to use Road Dogg's defense, Charlotte was dropped off 20 feet from the peak of the mountain. Oh, should have had Becky win the title and then Charlotte returns and turns heel. Yeah, I agree. All right, so some Neville news. According to everybody's favorite Dave Meltzer, the reason why WWE froze Neville's contract for 10 months is because they didn't want talent to be able to walk out and work for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Neville is reportedly not under a non-compete clause since his release and is free to work anywhere. So, Dave, were you surprised to not see Neville tonight?
No, not really. Because they definitely didn't want him to pull up there, so they probably made sure he couldn't. And we already heard the stories that they tried to want Rey Mysterio to pull out of the event, too.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they wanted him to pull out. I guess, is it because they were scared of him getting hurt or something?
Maybe, or they wanted to hurt the event.
Yeah, that's true. Wasn't surprised to not see Neville, but disappointed. What about Punk?
I wasn't surprised or disappointed not to see him.
Yeah. Okay, my other question is, if we didn't see Punk, We didn't see Neville, and we didn't get the Jericho segment. Would you been all right with that?
Yeah, I thought you take Jericho away, and I still think the whole show was pretty damn good.
Yeah, they had Deanna, but she pulled out as well. And I wonder if she would have been in the fatal 4-way instead of maybe Madison Rayne. I wonder if that would have been the match. Punk just burned. To me, Punk, all right. And this is coming from a guy that was a big CM Punk fan. But I thought his tweet thanking the fans and all that shit was so fucking fake. So fucking fake, man. This guy doesn't give a fuck about wrestling fans, man. This dude doesn't give a shit about us. And I'm a CM Punk lover. Like, I would love to see the man back in the WWE and being once what he was once in the WWE. I know a lot of people may not like Punk anymore. I feel you. I don't understand. I not know nothing against you. But this guy doesn't care. You think he honestly cared that he met how many other fans in 9 hours, or does he care about how much money he's taking home in his pocket? I mean, seriously. I'm a big Punk guy, and I always had mixed emotions about how he left, and it would be hard for me to give my money to a guy that just doesn't give a shit about us. Yeah, I mean, did people not listen to what he has said about us wrestling fans before? That wrestling fans didn't make CM Punk, Punk made CM Punk. Like, did people ignore that he said that? Because I took that as a shot. As to me, I felt like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious? Like, Punk was nothing before WWE. The fans made Punk, get a push. If it wasn't for the fans, Paul Heyman and all that shit, I get that. But if it wasn't us getting behind Punk, he wouldn't have been where he was, and he wouldn't have had the title reign that he had. The list goes on and on of the shit he had. But it upset me to see that tweet, because I just feel like that's the biggest fucking fake tweet ever. But, man, props to him for making a shitload of money on Friday night at the Starcast and All In shit. The only one return is AJ Lee. He would have even got a UFC contract if it wasn't for WWE. Yeah, that's true. Thanks, Speeds, man. Have a good night. Everybody go find Speeds. Monday Night Raw post shows. He actually goes live on Thursday nights as well, 9 Eastern. Go give him a follow. He's a good dude. Support him. Support every wrestling podcast that you can. Everyone on here on Periscope works their fucking ass off. So we appreciate everybody that are fans that come in from Speeds' show, from Dr. Hughes' show. Everybody that comes in here that do podcasts on a regular basis, they work their ass off. And they do a good show over there. It's more of kind of like our show. It's calm, it's chill, and they have some pretty funny segments as well. So definitely go give them a follow. So appreciate you coming in here, Speeds, and appreciate those super hearts. Is there anything else, Dave, that you want to talk about other than Shawn Michaels will be on Raw this coming Monday night? I don't want y'all to forget about that. One more time, big announcement. Shawn Michaels, this guy right here. This guy right here, Shawn Michaels, this guy, will be on Raw Monday night. How great would it be if Raw opened up with Shawn Michaels? I couldn't think of a better way to open up a Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, but Shawn. But will his hair be there?
Oh. He'll probably be wearing a hat, Dave. All right. Anything else, Dave?
We already talked about CM Punk. The other thing I was gonna say about it, I mean, he would not have got pushed on that freaking main card on the big UFC fights and all that without fans or the WWE. So yeah, CM Punk. I was gonna talk about that too because I was seeing that tweet he put out. I'm like, are you serious? Thinking about fans when if they came up to you in the airport, you'd be like, oh, don't talk to me. Don't call me Punk. Don't call me Phil. Don't call me anything. It's like whatever. Yeah, he doesn't give a shit about anybody. I mean, it's just if it wasn't in Chicago, he wouldn't have been there.
Oh, definitely not. If I think Paige was like harassed at the airport, wasn't she, or something like that? Let's see.
Yeah, I seen on YouTube. I seen that Paige was interviewed by the chick from Impact.
Yeah,
I was kind of shocked about that.
Let's see. So Nakamura was recently interviewed by Inside the Ropes on why leaving WWE for New Japan would be a big decision. He said that is a big decision. Florida waves are better than Japan. It's just an hour drive to the beach, but just once a week I'm able to go surfing. But in Japan, if there's a hurricane, so I lived across from the what the fuck? What? I'm sorry. I thought that was better news. Basically, he's talking about waves, surf waves. I mean, I thought it was something more important than that. I apologize for wasting your motherfucking time for that. Yeah, I know he's a surfer, but that was kind of silly. I thought it was something actually wrestling related. So don't mind this on that. So thankfully, thank you guys for joining us tonight. We had a nice little viewership on YouTube, a great viewership tonight on Periscope, over 2,400 viewers. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Again, if you're new to the show, hit that follow button. We're trying to get to 1,000 followers on Periscope, and we will hopefully get there by the end of hopefully by the end of the year. I would hope so. So please follow us. We want to do another giveaway. So once we hit 1,000 followers on Periscope, we will do another giveaway similar to the one that we did last time, where Babaruski was the winner of the last giveaway. So we thank everybody for all the support you give us on a weekly basis. I mean, you guys are awesome, interacting with us on Twitter, interacting with us on Periscope, interacting with us on YouTube, and also on Twitch. I can't thank you guys any more than I always do. The hearts, the super hearts. Y'all guys kick ass. And remember, no show tomorrow night because we were live tonight. So we'll be back again on Tuesday night, touching up on Raw and SmackDown Live. And then we'll head on to Thursday night for Impact on Pop and for NXT on Thursday. So I'm looking forward to the Thursday night show, honestly. Thank you, Adam Baum, for that plug. Appreciate that. One more time for our cheap plug. We have a Patreon account. Check it out. Tables on Patreon. We also have YouTube. We would really love to get our subscriber up on YouTube. We're almost there. I mean, I remember we started at the beginning of the year with barely like 25 subscribers. Now we're at 70. So I really do appreciate it, guys. Our last show when we did the Raw and SmackDown Live post show, we had over 60 viewers. I don't know what happened, but our Raw and our SmackDown Live post shows are getting more hits, and we do appreciate that, guys. The more subscribers, the more you guys go in there and like our videos. That really helps us out. We appreciate that, and it gets us more of a following, gets us more people that come in here and interact with you lovely people on a weekly and nightly basis. So let's do a quick little shout out for everybody that came out tonight. Jody Mania, Bliss Side, Jeffrey Cross, Adam Downs, Alicia, Mr. Yerbass, Beckenrod, Dangerfield, M, Kevin Harper, Ted, Danny, Rom, the Super Heart Givers, and Spees, Juanito, and Jeffrey Cross as well. If I missed anybody, please say hello in the chat room so I can give you the proper shout out for you guys hanging out with us I think we were live for how long tonight, Dave? Hour and a half, I believe.
Yeah, about
almost an hour and a half. So,
yeah, I'm here.
Sticking around with us. Big Carp, thank you for joining us. Alicia, thank you again. Ted, thank you for joining us. I got this shirt he was doing a special giveaway for these for like an auction, not an auction, but for a benefit for a fundraiser. And it was like last year, I believe, or maybe 2 years ago, he was doing this shirt. And I had to get it, man. I had to get it. Why do you follow? Yeah, I follow underage women on Periscope. What the hell? We've had like the weirdest trolls lately. We didn't have very many porn bots, but lately we've been having some crazy ass trolls. It's kind of freaky, kind of weird. But yeah, we'll be live Tuesday night. Thank you guys for joining us as always. Appreciate all the hearts and the sharing and the retweets on Twitter and Periscope. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. If you're staying up, have a great Saturday evening. And it came out last year. Thank you, Adam Baum. I appreciate that. Yeah, I had to get it. Dave, any last words before we're live on Tuesday?
Hey, thanks for everyone who joined us on Twitch tonight. We had fun. It was fun talking. Maybe we'll figure out a better way to do it when we're not kind of both not linked up at the same time during the shows because that was a little difficult to do. But yeah, I mean, hey, go check us out on Twitch, on Twitter, on YouTube, not Instagram or Facebook, but yeah, I mean, thanks for coming out tonight. The show was fun. And Wednesday.
Yes, thank you guys for always having our backs when the trolls and everything come in here. Y'all are awesome. I can always say on Twitter, we have the greatest community on Periscope. No doubt about it, man. Like the people that we have that come in the show and support us, they're amazing people, and we do appreciate every single one of you guys. So have a great night. Have a great Saturday. Have a great Sunday. Have a great Monday, because we want to see you on Tuesday night. Thank you, everybody.